Let me start by saying that the National Assembly management has a very serious job at hand. Unlike the National Assembly and the executive side of government, where you have civil servants who will be employed and would work for 35 years before they retire or reach the age of 60 before they retire, in the National Assembly, the major group, members of the National Assembly themselves, elected, come in for 4 years, and many don't make it back after 4 years. Many. In 2003, only about 22% of us returned. In 2007, the story was not any different, and it has been like that for a long time. That negates all the efforts in capacity building of members of the National Assembly. So each time you have a new set of members of the National Assembly, you may have at least 50% that will be completely new to legislature. And you have to work to help them build the capacity. But when you work with them as civil servants of the National Assembly, you are supposed to provide all the necessary support because you are the custodians of knowledge and information regarding what has been happening in that place. So we rely on you. And of course, you too need to be better. The other aspect that gives the members of the National Assembly a lot of headache is the inadequacy of staff, support staff, or the legislative aides. Since 1999 to date, the highest number of legislative aides per senator is 5, and is the same thing in the House. That does not help much, really. I'm not advocating for more than necessary, but what we have today is inadequate. And you find members of the National Assembly struggling to do almost everything by themselves. That does not get the best out of us. So that places also additional burden on you, the staff of the National Assembly, because the kind of services that we may not get from our legislative aides, we often look for such services from you. So we need to balance the environment, give you the kind of capacity that we need, but also maybe agitate for more legislative aides to the National Assembly members. The other one that I will say may be a little bit controversial, but I will not run away from it. What does the National Assembly mean to Nigerians? What does the legislature mean to Nigerians? Can we debate properly what the functions of the members of the National Assembly and indeed the legislature across Nigeria should be, rather than be talking about jumbo pay? Where's the jumbo pay? We should be looking for value for money. Without this National Assembly or the legislature across the country, what we have is not democracy anymore. So the value of the National Assembly or the legislature to Nigerians is democracy. Because take out the legislature, you will have, it may not be dictatorship, but certainly not democracy. So when we always debate on jumbo pay, instead of what should be the functions and hold us responsible for what we are able to do and for what we are not able to do. Ask for what you think we should be doing, rather than saying, close the Senate or close the National Assembly. Do we understand the implications of this? You close the Senate, for example, not because I'm in the Senate, but Senate is a leveler. Senate is a leveler because in the House of Representatives, population is the major consideration. And that's why some states would have 5, 6 members of the House, and others would have more than 20. So if you say close the Senate, you can be sure that there will be a day when people will cry foul of the tyranny of the majority. Say, no, we are not represented properly in this parliament because some people or some states have more in number. Yeah, they have to have more because they have the population, more population. But when you come to the Senate, what Kano State produces in the Senate is what Bielsa produces. 3 senators in Kano, and you have 3 senators from Bielsa. That gives everyone the advantage and the opportunity to be represented fully and properly and equally in the Senate. So that stabilizes the system. And just like the Executive Director Clement Wanko said, if you pass 1,000 bills in the House and the Senate does not concur, well, definitely that will be the end of such bills. So that tells you that that representation in the Senate that provides equality of states is to work to ensure that every part of this country is not neglected, is fully represented and protected. So we need to understand what the National Assembly or what the legislature is to Nigerians. Maybe I should also mention, in a budget of over 13 trillion, National Assembly would have its budget of 125 to 128 billion. What percentage is that? It's less than 1%. So where is the remaining 99%? And yet, instead of trying to see how the 125, 128 billion would be utilized by the National Assembly system, what will be the output from the National Assembly? How useful are the outputs to the Nigerian public? We will always argue, cut the funding to the National Assembly is too much, it's bogus. I'm not here to defend the National Assembly, but I'm here to encourage debate on what National Assembly means to us as a country, or what our legislature means to us as a country and as a people. If you don't like the set of members of the National Assembly in the 9th National Assembly, change all of us in 2023. Get better people, but help support the system to function, because that is your protection. Well, that is the part of the unprepared. And in rounding up the unprepared, let me take this opportunity, because it's not in my prepared speech, to say that we are working to pass the 2021 budget by the 2nd week of December by the grace of God. And we are working very assiduously. We ensure that there is every possible scrutiny of the budget estimates presented to us by the executive arm of government. So far, we achieved that in 2020 budget. We believe that we did the right thing. We promised Nigerians we'll do that. And it's going to be part of our legacy in the 9th National Assembly. The PIB, which is one of the most essential legislations that we have to have in this country, we intend to pass it by the grace of God before the end of the 2nd quarter of next year. We'll consider, and then again, we will take our time, because this is a very delicate and sensitive piece of legislation. We'll take our time to ensure that what comes out of the National Assembly in the PIB is a product of legislation that will ensure that Nigeria earns its revenues from this industry, the oil and gas, as it should. and of course also support our business people, the oil companies that are investing, and in fact retain and bring in, encourage new ones to come to Nigeria to invest. So it has to be a win-win for all of us. We will not be selfish as a country trying to take everything. No, oil is like water now. Almost every country now has oil. So if you don't provide a competitive environment in Nigeria, the oil companies would have no difficulty relocating to other countries. So we'll ensure that we have a competitive environment for business and for investments. The constitutional amendment, of course, at the moment, is not very warm because of the activities of the members of the National Assembly on the budget 2021. But the two committees in the Senate and the House are already working behind the scenes to ensure that as soon as we pass the budget, the constitutional amendment activities will start in earnest. We believe that we should pass our amendments within 2021. Similarly, the amendments to the Electoral Act is going to be within that year 2021 in good time too, to ensure that we don't encounter unnecessary distractions. Having said that, let me go to my formal speech, the prepared one. I'm most delighted to be part of this opening ceremony. A retreat is obviously an important exercise in a workplace, giving the chances of refreshing and relearning to upgrade skills towards improving productivity and efficiency. In a busy arm of government like the National Assembly, where the pace of work is high and where the pressure for service delivery is increasing, the expertise of senior personnel is very crucial. This expertise comes not only through previous qualifications, but additionally through institutional experience that also needs intermittent honing. It is the reason organizations emphasize training and retraining, not just to improve the skills of personnel, but to update them on trends that are prevalent. The trends are no doubt growing in a dynamic world of information deluge. The deluge requires us to keep pace as much as possible, or else we'll be left behind. A retreat provides a platform for us to renew our zeal through refreshing exposure to new facts. We are thereafter in a better position to improve our efficiency afterwards. This efficiency cannot also be compromised faced with an increased citizen expectation to deliver on our mandate of appropriation, legislation, and oversight. The top management of the National Assembly and that of the National Assembly Service Commission are most crucial to our excellent legislative performance. Their ability to drive processes through inspiring leadership incidentally depends on their aptitude. It is why they need programs like this to improve on the guidance they provide for the larger workforce and to properly guide legislators and other officials. Doing this requires a wide range of partnership and experience for a broader perspective in the dissection of issues. The collaboration with National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, and Policy and Advocacy Center, PLAC, is therefore highly desirable. These organizations have proved their mettle in the understanding of legislative processes and procedures and are poised to add value in innovative thinking towards improved work performance. However, we may not get the full benefit of this retreat if we are distracted. We need to see the time for this retreat as a short time off to retool, and we should treat it so. Our busy schedules regardless, concentration is important and imperative if we are to reap the benefit of the program. I trust we are all set for the program and that we will do our best to be active participants. I thank the resource persons for their preparations, and I'm confident we will all enjoy them. On this note, I wish you a successful retreat, and it is now my pleasure to declare this retreat open. God bless you all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.